Welcome everyone. Today we're diving into another of our foundational early childhood practices, focusing on one of the most critical aspects of working with young children, health and safety. As future early childhood professionals, you'll quickly discover that keeping children safe isn't just about watching them. It's about mastering the art and science of active supervision. This chapter will give you practical tools you can use immediately in any childcare setting. Active supervision has 6 key steps. They involve setting up the environment so that you can view all children at all times, positioning staff so that you can better have an eye on all the children during activities, scanning and counting frequently so that you know how many children are in attendance at all times, listening for concerns and responding promptly, anticipating children's behavior, and finally engaging and redirecting when problems do arise. If we're too narrowly focused on children, this means we're watching 1 or 2 children so intently that we're missing what's happening elsewhere. So picture this, you're helping Sarah with her puzzle while across the room 2 children are about to have a conflict over blocks, and by the time you notice, tears are flowing and blocks are flying. If you're too broadly focused, it's the opposite problem. You're scanning the room constantly, but you're not really engaging in any learning. You see everything that's happening, and we may be keeping the room safe, but the children are really missing out on those teachable moments. The key question is, how do you maintain just the right balance for dual focus? This is what we call the active supervision sweet spot. It involves being both watchful and engaged. Now that we understand supervision, let's talk a little bit about guidance. Notice I didn't say discipline. That's intentional. In early childhood education, we guide behavior rather than punish it. Guidance is about teaching children the skills they need to be successful in social situations. So it's proactive rather than reactive. Instead of waiting for problems to occur, we set up the environments and use strategies that prevent problems from happening in the first place. Think of guidance as being a GPS for children's behavior. You're helping them navigate social situations and make good choices. Our first 2 guidance strategies really go hand in hand. The first is cooperation. Adults model cooperation. Children are always watching us, how you interact with your co-teacher, how you handle frustration, how you solve problems. Children absorb all of this. If you want children to share, then they need to see you sharing. If you want them to use kind words, they need to hear you using kind words with everyone. The relationship is the key. This might be the most important thing you learn in this course. Children will follow guidance from adults they trust and feel connected to. Before you can guide a child's behavior, you need to build a relationship with them. Take time to learn their names, their interests, their families, even their pets. When children feel valued and understood, they're much more likely to cooperate with expectations. Now I'm going to give you a concrete tool you can start using today. It's called the ACT model. So think of it this way. A stands for acknowledge. Acknowledge the feelings of the moment. Instead of dismissing the emotions, validate them. I see you're really frustrated that your tower fell down. C for communicate. Communicate the rule. Be clear about the expectations. In our classroom, we use gentle hands with our friends. T, target. Target the alternative. Give children specific options, preferably 2 choices. You can either use walking feet or you can sit with me for a few minutes. Let's practice. A child is hitting because another child took their toy. Using ACT, you would say, acknowledge. You're upset that Tom took your truck. Communicate. We don't hit our friends. Hitting hurts. Target. You can ask Tom for the truck back, or you can choose a different toy to play with. The third of the guidance strategies is communicating effectively. Communication is much more than just words. It's how you position your body, the tone you're using, and even your timing. So get on their level. This literally means getting down to their eye level. Crouch down, Sit in a small chair. Kneel on the floor. This shows respect and it makes you less intimidating for the small child. Also, make eye contact if it's culturally appropriate. This is important to note. In some cultures, direct eye contact with authority figures is considered disrespectful. So know your families and adjust accordingly. Also, start with a playful tone, then move to a firm tone if needed. Always begin with warmth. Oh my, I see some busy builders over here. If that doesn't redirect the behavior, then move to firm. I need you to keep the blocks in the building area. Refrain from using no's, don'ts, or stops. Instead of telling children what not to do, tell them what you do want them to do. Instead of saying don't run, try please use your walking feet. Instead of saying stop yelling, try I need to hear your quieter voice. Help the children find an acceptable alternative. Always give them something they can do instead. Now let's shift to the physical environment. Your room setup is actually your first line of defense in keeping children safe. A well-designed space prevents many problems before they even start. Think about the traffic patterns in your room. Can children move freely without bumping into each other? Are materials organized so they can find what they need independently? Are there clear boundaries between different types of play? Your environment should communicate safety, order, and welcome all at the same time. When we think about developmental appropriateness, it means realizing that one size does not fit all in early childhood education. What's appropriate for a 3-year-old might be dangerous for a toddler, and what challenges a 5-year-old might frustrate a 4-year-old. So consider the age of the children. Know what the typical developmental milestones are. 2-year-olds are still learning to walk steadily, so they're going to need different equipment than 4-year-olds who are running and jumping with confidence. Consider developmental readiness. Even within the same age group, children develop at different rates. Some 3-year-olds are ready for scissors, while others still might need time learning to tear the paper. Consider their interests. A child who loves dinosaurs might be more engaged with a safety lesson that actually includes dinosaur examples. So meet them where they are. Now, when we talk about maintenance as prevention, this might not be the most exciting topic, but it is crucial. Most accidents in childcare settings are preventable through good maintenance practices. So use your checklist for daily review. Don't rely on your memory. Have systematic ways to check your space and materials every day. Look for loose screws, broken toys, spills, sharp edges. Repair or remove unsafe items promptly. If something is broken, don't leave it for later. Either fix it immediately or remove it from the space, because later has a way of becoming never, and that's when accidents happen. Maintenance procedures for large equipment. Understand how to properly maintain your playground equipment, your climbing structures, your tricycles. When in doubt, consult your manuals or contact the manufacturer. Sanitation is about more than just cleanliness. It's really about preventing the spread of illness and creating a healthy learning space for the children. Use checklists for daily cleaning and sanitizing. Again, don't rely on your memory. Have clear procedures for what gets cleaned, when, and how. Use only approved chemicals. This is non-negotiable. Only use products that are approved for use around children. Many common household cleaners are just too harsh for childcare environments. Remember, clean first, then sanitize. You can't sanitize a dirty surface effectively. Creating an environment of yes is one of my favorite concepts, and it's going to change how you think about classroom management. Instead of constantly saying no to children, we want to design our environment, our spaces, our routines to allow us to say yes more often. So start by empowering independence. Put materials where children can reach them and get them on their own. Use picture labels so they know how to put things back when they're done playing with them. And when children can do things by themselves, they are going to feel more capable, and you're going to prevent many unneeded requests for help. Encourage decision making. Would you like to use markers or crayons? Should we clean up blocks or books first? Giving choices helps children feel in control and reduces any power struggles. Reduce barriers. If children constantly need to ask permission for basic needs like getting a drink or using the bathroom, you're creating unnecessary dependence on the adults in the room. Next, limit unnecessary no's. Ask yourself, is this rule really necessary for safety, or is it just my preference? And if it's your own preference, consider maybe letting it go. You want to send the message, this is your space. You belong here. When children feel ownership of their environment, they're more likely to take care of it and more likely to follow the expectations. Thank you for taking part in this presentation.